Although there's a very thin line between discrimination and discernment, humiliation and humbling, tyranny, cult-like leadership, and spiritual leadership, there's actual multiverse between those things. When the caterpillar makes its way into a cocoon and shelters themselves inside of it, there it melts down into its molecular structure, into a complete molecular goo. And from there, it restructures itself as a butterfly that breaks out of the cocoon and flies free. Enlightenment. In order to break out of the matrix of samsara, of the mechanism of the delusion, we gotta break ourselves down to ground zero and restructure ourselves with wings. Sounds wonderful. It is wonderful. And for that, you can have a Zen master to guide the caterpillar going into its cocoon. There, the cocoon must stay sealed. Nothing can infiltrate the cocoon. No other molecules, no other influence. Where it melts down to a pool of molecules, doesn't break into separate pieces. It's still a oneness structure, just more fluid. And that process is sacred and guarded. And from there, it can safely reform itself as a butterfly, not as a fish, not as a lizard, not as a chair. It does not change its core purpose. It just descends into ground zero and reascends for its highest potential of its own natural existence. But how easy it is to conflate the process that helps the caterpillar become a butterfly with oppression. See, the spiritual teacher, the Zen master, the guide, the healer, the guru, they don't take the caterpillar and break it into pieces and squash the pieces and flatten it and put it back together in the shape of a butterfly and hang it on the wall. This is my butterfly. They certainly don't let their own molecules or other molecules intervene with the process. Its natural course. They protect the caterpillar in a cocoon. They don't break the caterpillar themselves. They don't break the caterpillar themselves. Their job is to guide it into a cocoon and make sure the cocoon is safe for them. Protection, guidance. This includes their own influence. Because if they say, oh, I'm protecting you from this and that from the outside, as they themselves embed themselves, their own molecules, their own opinions, their own projections onto the caterpillar, onto you. They're doing that which hurts you by telling you that they are protecting you from that same thing, just from a different origin, different source. If that was truly the case that they were doing, they would also shield you from their own projections. And let you blossom into your highest potential from your own nature. They wouldn't tell you what kind of butterfly you are. They wouldn't reshape the type of wings that you have. They wouldn't try to turn you into a different animal, different species. They would guide you with your nature, with safety, as an embrace, not as a prison, but as an embrace. And then in your time, in your way, after you go through your process, you spread the wings that are yours, that are to do with your unique dharma. After going through your unique karmic process, from which you did not run away from. You did not run away from the cocoon. You did not run away from turning into molecular goo. You did not run away from these things. You faced going through these things. But if instead the master takes you instead of into a cocoon, into a little box, instead of letting you melt into your own molecular structure, they season it with themselves and break you down as they wish, when they wish. And then when you do develop wings somehow or something, instead of letting you break out of the cocoon, they're like, not yet. You're not ready. And they keep you suffocated in the cocoon when you or in the box when you already have wings. That's not protection, that's imprisonment. And it can be very difficult to recognize the difference. When you have appreciation and trust and love, it can be used against you. It turns into a Stockholm syndrome where you might not let yourself recognize what's going on, because that would be a terrible thing to go through. So it's more convenient for the system to tell yourself that it's for your own damn good. And you just don't understand your own nature as much as someone else does. So you romanticize what they do, excuse what they do, until at one point it's too late. You're either the shape of a butterfly, but not someone who can truly fly, squashed and framed onto a wall, the wall of your master. Look at my creation. Mine. With me forever. Or you're broken down inside a box, held in the attic of your master as a token, as a memorabilia. Look at how many caterpillars and butterflies I have and have created. They didn't create, they destroyed. You must learn to recognize the difference. Whether you do that to your followers or you have a teacher that does that to you, you must recognize the difference and save yourself.